day, here is news at 4 prompt on the Gallery TV. I am Adebayo Omolara. Here's the news headline. Enugu APC stalwart dismissed suspension by removed chairman. Abuja police detain YouTuber for criticizing Apostle Suleiman's money miracle. Federal government laments as abductors collect extra 24 million naira on Baptist school students. Now on business news. Singapore to deepen investment in Nigeria. Federal government attract $500 million to gas value chain through network code. On foreign news. Chaotic start to Castillo's presidency leaves Peruvians wondering who is in charge. No plan to convert bank customers' foreign currency into naira, says CBN. Now the news and details. Enugu APC stalwart dismissed suspension by removed chairman. Chieftains of All Progressive Congress in Enugu State have reached to the purported suspension by the ousted chairman of the party in the state, Chief Ben Nwonye, over alleged anti-party activities. Nwonye, who allegedly suspended by 42 members of the state executive committee on Tuesday following what they called insubordination, antichrist, anti-authority activities that disregard to party constitution, and have later that same day announced the suspension of the former speaker Eugene Eze, Eugene Odo, El Aja, Flavor Eze, and Ada Ogbu for alleged anti-party activities. But addressing newsmen on Wednesday, the affected party chieftain described the suspension as a joke and laughable, speaking on behalf of others. El Aja described the purported suspension as a material meant for the corruption of small minds. He noted that Nwonye had already been stripped of his power as the caretaker chairman of the party, screwed to his removal by the members of State Executive Committee. He said, "The report that Ben Nwonye suspended myself, Eugene Odo, Princess Ada Ogbu, and Flavor Eze is impossible." Abuja police detain YouTuber for criticizing Apostle Suleiman's money miracle. The Force Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has detained a YouTuber, Israel Balogun, over allegations of criminal defamation and cyber-stalking of the General Overseer of Omega Far Ministry International, Apostle John Suleiman. Punch Metro gathered that the 38-year-old man was interrogated for about 4 hours, being given stringent bail conditions. Our correspondent learned that Balogun posted a video on this YouTube channel where he showed clips of Suleiman declaring to his congregation that angels would deposit money into their bank account. The clips were from ministrations of the cleric in Atlanta, United States, and Auchi, Edo State, where worshippers testified to receiving credit a lot in their bank account. Balogun described this claim as false and slammed Suleiman. His remarks were trailed by mixed reaction on social media. While some commended Balogun for his boldness, others said he was seeking irrelevance. The businessman told our correspondent that he later got a threat call from one Obi West. He said he is the eyes of Apostle Suleiman on social media and said I should expect to hear from them. He said I will be missing and he will make sure I get punished by officers from the Nigerian Police Office headquarters. Being already suspended to the extent that he cannot act as chairman again, there is a vote of no confidence passed on Ben that is subsisting. Federal government laments as abductors collect extra 24 million naira on Baptist school students. The federal government has expressed concern about the 1,299 students who are still being held by bandits months after their abduction. The Minister of State of Education, Chukwuma Nwajuebua, in an interview with one of our correspondents on Wednesday, described the invasion of schools and kidnapping of students as serious matters, adding that the federal government was being cautious in its moves to rescue the students. Nwajuebua stated this as The Punch learned that parents of 80 students of Bethel Baptist High School, Maraban, Damishi, Kaduna State, who were still in bandit den, contributed 300,000 each on Friday for the hoodlums. It was gathered that bandits promised to release the students this week after collecting the money. Recall the bandits on July 5 invaded the school and abducted more than 100 students. On July 25th, when 28 of the students were released, the president of the Nigeria Baptist Convention, Reverend Israel Akonji, said 87 of them were still in captivity. Giving an update in an interview with The Punch on Wednesday, the Kaduna State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria said 80 of the students were still held by the captives. Besides the Bethel Baptist school children, no fewer than 83 students of the federal government college, Berlin Yauri, Kebbi State, who were abducted from the school 56 days ago, are still in bandit den. Also, about 136 pupils who were abducted from an Islamic school at Tedgina, Niger State in May, spent 71 days in bandit den on Wednesday. Expressing concern about the situation, the Minister of State for Education, Nwajuebua, told The Punch that Federal was working with security agencies to rescue the abducted students. On business news, Singapore invests to deepen in Nigeria. Singapore was willing to look into deepening its economic ties with Nigeria and other West African countries as its enterprises promise to increase investment in key sectors in the region. Regional Director, West and Central African Enterprise Singapore, the Asian countries agency championing overseas business relations, Jane NG, said our country was genuinely interested with West Africa, who was joined by Managing Director of Toleram Group, Aresh Aswani, Chief Executive Officer of Kaha Pet Limited, Pawan Gandhi, Director of Nivesal. Saikat Chowdhury, among others, said Singaporean companies would continue to explore opportunities for a new line of business. While expanding existing investments, the theme held a session ahead of African Singapore Business Forum 2021, holding August 23rd to 24th, tagged Leapfrogging the World, Innovation and Sustainability in Africa, NJ, said the forum was in line with Singapore Enterprises' mandate of helping local enterprises build capabilities and capture new opportunities across sectors and markets to the global competitive. The organization has 36 offices across the globe charged with responsibility of working with companies of Singapore's origin to harness opportunities and build a competitive edge. Federal government attracts $500 million to gas value chain through network code. The Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, has stated that the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code, NGTNC, introduced last year to guide open access transportation of natural gas, has already attracted investment proposals for over $500 million. According to the director, DPR, Saki Awalu, so far the department has received investment generation, ammonia for fertilizer, domestic LNG, methanol, virtual gas pipeline systems, new gas hubs, and the establishment of Nigeria through its Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program (NGPCF). The DPR noted that plans are ongoing to reduce gas flaring from the current single digit of 8% of 5% in the country. Awalu stated this at an interactive session on first year of operationalizing the network code in Nigeria. In his words, investors across the various gas value chains are telling us that they need DPR support. They need us to create that enabling environment for opportunities. We are looking at an additional $500 million in just 1 year since we introduced the code. Let's go on a short break. We will be right back.
Good news to all Lagos residents, especially owners of landed properties. Payment of land use charge has now been made easy through an online platform known as Lola. Lola is Lagos online assistance platform where payment of land use charge is possible through a WhatsApp-only message on 0815-433-3883. This Lola platform, initiated by the Lagos State Ministry of Finance, will make the payment of land use charge possible anytime, any day, and anywhere without any third-party involvement. For more information, please visit www.lola.ng or luc.lagostate.gov.ng. Lola, the easiest way to pay your Lagos State land use charge. Always remember, Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe ni.
Welcome back. Now on foreign news. Chaotic start to Castillo's presidency leaves Peruvians wondering who is in charge. Peruvian President Pedro Castillo delivers a speech during a symbolic presidential investiture ceremony at Pampa de la Quinoa in Ayacucho on July 29. Lima, Peru, at his swearing-in ceremony on the 200th anniversary of Peruvian independence last month, Peru's first campesino president condemned the racial regime imposed by the conquistadors and continued to divide Latin American societies today. To hammer the point home, Pedro Castillo promised not to use the presidential residence known as the House of Pizarro, after its founder, Francisco Pizarro, who led the subjugation of the Lucas. The leftist president, a 50-year-old former school teacher from rural Peru, insisted it was time to break with colonial symbols. But now, just 2 weeks into the historic presidency, Castillo's inexperience and his appointment to senior government positions of Marxist hardliners, some implication in criminality, have left this country that went through 3 presidents in 1 month. Last year, one again, in the brink of a political meltdown. The chaos has sounded a starting gun on an existential battle between the executive and an antagonistic, conservative-dominated legislature, with increasing talk of either the impeachment or dissolution of Congress. The trigger came the day after Castillo's inauguration, when he appointed 42-year-old Guaido Bellido, a confrontational congressman from his Free Peru party, as prime minister, a position for which even many on the left say he is unfit. Bellido is the target of criminal investigation for allegedly defending terrorism, with social media posts sympathetic to the Shining Path, the most extremist who killed at least 28,000 Peruvians, mainly from communities in the 1980s and 1990s. He has also been heavily criticized, for which he praised Fidel Castro for preventing gay people. He used a slur from participating in the Cuban Revolution. No plan to convert bank customers' foreign currency into Nigeria currency, says CBN. The Central Bank of Nigeria has said it is not planning to convert the foreign exchange in Naira domiciliary account of bank customers into Naira. This is according to the acting director in charge of corporate communications, Osita Nwanisobi, who pointed out that those behind the speculations are criminal elements looking to create panic in the foreign exchange market. He gave the assurance that the CBN will ensure that the legitimate FX demands of customers are met by commercial banks, as he advised FX operators to go about their business without worries. According to this day, he said this day is after the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, announced that Deposit Money Bank will henceforth be in charge of the sale of foreign exchange to bureau de change and other customers. Addressing journalists at the end of 2 days deliberation by the Monetary Policy Committee, Emefiele stated that BDCs disregarded the CBN policies but in place to safeguard the value of the naira. He said, in particular, we have noted with disappointment and great concern that our BDC operators have abandoned the original objectives of their establishment, which was to serve retail end users who need £5,000 or less. Instead, they have become wholesale dealers dealing in forex to the tune of millions of dollars per transaction, despite the fact that Nigeria is only the country in the world today where a central bank sells dollar directly to BDC operators. And that will be all for today on The Gallery. Join us on every of our social media handles for subsequent updates. Thanks for joining us. I remain Adebayo Molara.